want to be a respected.
No.
Why? You're going to make somebody else say something? You don't want to be a respected.
No.
Why? You're going to make somebody else say something? I'm here because I have a daughter and a granddaughter and a son, and I want them to have the kind of experience in life that I've had with the environment.
Camera, and then I'll take it with my cell phone too.
Oh, wow. I don't think we should have such a...
The time is now for safe, clean energy. Nuclear power is not carbon free because they externalize all the costs. The front end, which is mining, milling, processing, that leaves toxic forever nuclear waste that our future generations will have to watch over for, and the back end of having to store safely nuclear waste from the reactors. It's a big problem. So don't believe the lie that nuclear energy is clean and that it's carbon free, because it's not. No nukes.
Regulating greenhouse gases?
I'm guessing
Yes,
yes.
he did. You're right. He did. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So actually now the EPA actually has regulations, and they're going to be starting to enforce CO2 emission standards. Okay. So how do you think he voted on whether or not we can enforce CO2 emissions? Did he vote for the EPA or did he vote against the EPA? What do you know? What do you know? Somehow or another, this isn't rocket science. Let's see. I got another bill here too. Let's see. Okay. So there was a bill on removing oil and gas subsidies. Did Mr. Cantor vote to keep the subsidies, or did he vote to eliminate the subsidies?
Keep them.
Keep the subsidies. What do you know? You're right again. 4 out of 4. It just goes on and on. By the way, I'm Glenn Bessa with the Sierra Club. We're working with LFA on this project, and we're happy to everybody could be here. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Just goes on and on. Here's scheduling permitting for new oil refineries. He voted yes on that. Authorizing construction of new oil refineries. He voted yes on that. He voted for the Bush energy policy, the one that had the what's the name of the Halliburton language in it. So he voted for the Halliburton bill. Okay, all right. So it just goes on and on. It's just no end of. He voted against higher standards on automobiles. Okay, the CAFE standards, which would have required cars to get better mileage. He voted against that. Thank goodness that most of the times he voted on the losing side. I guess we could say he's a loser when it comes to climate change. Let's see. It just goes on and on. As I said, there's no end of efforts by Mr. Cantor to obstruct the president's initiatives to rein in greenhouse gas emissions. What we all know is a moral imperative. And for Mr. Cantor, it seems to be nothing but a political football. So we're going to get a chance to tell him that today.
Unicorn awareness, but I was explaining to my daughters that while they might like to believe in unicorns, we know that unicorns aren't really real. But it's been proven that climate change is real, that the things that humans are doing in our environment are contributing to a significant change in our environment. And folks like Eric Cantor, who refuse to believe that, are believing in unicorns because it's been proven, scientific facts, that climate change is real based on humans' interaction with our environment and carbon emissions and so forth. So to not believe science is to believe in unicorns. That's my explanation of it.
Yeah!
I think that's very good.
So we have a delegation of folks here from the Organizing for America, the Sierra Club.
Okay.
And we are, I don't know whether we can
How
say.
many of there are?
Well, how many are there? Let's count them.
We have a pretty tight conference room.
Well, I think we could probably get in there and stand around the edge if we could talk to somebody briefly.
That's
Does that
perfectly
work?
fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
keep the signs or do we?
Well, we had a lot of different things. They talked about how climate change is happening, and it's obvious, and to deny it is a fantasy, and denying hard science. And we had examples of that. But I kind of introduced to them that I think Eric Cantor is a smart guy, and he already knows all this stuff. I think it's political posturing and obstructionism, and it needs to stop. I've about had it with the House, especially when it comes to these games, and they're not acting in the best interest of the people, the earth, nature. It's all about their own political party. And I wanted to call attention to that because I've had enough of that.
What kind of response did you get from them?
They nodded.
Okay. And how about you? What do you have to say?
Well, I am a member of his district, so naturally I wanted to have that little gem brought to their attention, to Cantor's attention, that is. I am also a member of UCS, Union of Concerned Scientists, and I think Republicans have in the past come up with some good ideas about environmental issues. They seem to have abandoned that altogether. At least the national rhetoric seems to have abandoned it forever. Not forever, but. So I wanted to point out to them that there are people out there who are thinking about this and are talking about responsible and workable solutions to these issues. But time is running out, and I just wanted to point that out to them.
Okay. Are you a constituent as well?
25 years in this district.
It was hard not to vote for him one year. As I recall, there was a little issue running against him.
I actually was quite a fan in the beginning. Everett.
Okay. And yes?
Hugh, H-U-G-H, McElwain, M-C-E-L, W-A-I-N.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask how old you guys are? That's the most rude question, but
Do you mind with what?
ask how old you are?
No.
You don't mind? How old are you?
A lot of the parts are externalized. The mining of uranium, the milling, the processing, the transportation, the building of the reactors, and then the back end, forever nuclear waste storage, which actually right now they're having hearings to update the Nuclear Waste Administration Act, it's Senate Bill 1240. And it's very important because the solution is not to truck this stuff around to temporary sites. That's not a solution at all. And even if they forced Yucca Mountain would already be full. So that's, we're still looking at problems. But the answer to climate change is not nuclear energy because it has a huge carbon footprint other than what the nuclear industry would like people to believe. And besides that, we see what's going on in Fukushima right now with the 3-core meltdown. Virginia, we have our 2 nuclear power plants. Dominion has the North Anna and Surrey. Our North Anna plant from our 5.8 was already, the design basis was exceeded. So, we're looking at a lot of problems with the waste, and possibly we'll end up getting stuck with the waste. So maybe we should start creating more of it. We need to move forward true renewable energy sources.
What did you think about the meeting?
I was pleased that someone came out and spoke with us and was able to give the information. I think that's a good sign, but we need to get really serious about the problem, not just the climate change, because what feeds into that is what energy sources do Americans want to pay for, and what risk are we willing to take. If we had a problem at North Anna or at Surrey, actually the capital would be engulfed in both 50-mile radius zones. So not only that, but North Anna, we have a lot of our agriculture, and farmers are all located up there. And still haven't gotten an update on the status of the radioactive tritium leak from last year. So, the nuclear energy is not safe, it's not clean, and it's very expensive. We can create jobs using, going towards wind and solar, geothermal, tidal. A lot of promises it looks very promising with the offshore wind consortium that was passed in 2010. And then here recently, Dominion made a statement that maybe in 10 years, maybe we don't have 10 years to start thinking about those leases out there in the ocean. So I'm going to remain hopeful, but as a mother and a grandmother and as a organic home grower, these issues are very important to me.
Okay, what's your name?
Erica Gray,
With a C or K?
with a C. And
How I spell
Cantor.
it too.
Is your name Erica?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I love it. I'm also in Cantor
And
Sisters.
it's Gray?
AY. Yes, thank you.
How old are you?
I'm almost 50, 49.
All right, well, thank you so much. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Erica.
Nice to
Thank you
meet
very much.